is. It's the morning after with Nick and Big J. Welcome to Thursday. Today happens to be the 8th day of May, 2025. I happen to be Nick, and sitting across from me happens to be radio's Big J.
Yeah.
Good morning, Big J.
Yeah, morning, man.
Happy summer to you, sir.
Yeah, see, here's how we delineate summer. When the official time has changed, you no longer wear a jacket. It's just the hoodie.
That's right.
And several shirts.
Well, listen, we don't forget we are at the point now where the temperature, much like my fashion sense, can change at a whim. So when this weekend, I'll be back down, or after this weekend, I'll be back into the heavy jacket type of things. But yes, for the next couple of days, we're busting out the X hoodie for sure.
Yeah, it's like you look like it's warmer out.
Yeah. Well, this was the jacket I was wearing in Vegas as well, so you understand that this is not the first time you've seen it, of course.
Right.
So I don't want you to be confused and think that summer came a couple weekends ago. It's just not true.
Nope.
We are officially here as of today. Because listen,
was Vegas, baby.
It's going to be hot, Big J, over the next couple of days. So watch out. So hot. Like, there is a weird, I'm learning because this is a extreme passion of yours. There is a window in which you can ride a motorcycle. It needs to be not too cold, but it cannot be very hot either, right?
No, I mean, up to, like, I last summer was comfortable, 98 degrees.
Like the band.
Yes. And then after that, traffic is a consideration.
Because you're sitting there and the sun starts beating down.
Sitting, and that's why I would be a proponent of lane filtering here in Idaho. But we can talk about that some other time.
It's an exciting topic.
So, yeah, I would say that, but, high 80s is pretty comfortable.
Okay.
So,
then why come no motorcycle today?
Oh,
other things to do?
No, that was being considerate of my wife. So yesterday, she had to work a weird shift. She worked like 5:30 till 2 a.m.
Ugh.
And so it doesn't matter how loud my bike is, okay? When I fire that thing up in the morning, even if I try to push it a half a block away, Lincoln will still bark his brains out.
Okay.
He doesn't care when I come home. It's like
Probably because it wakes him up and he's like startled.
No, he's up.
Well, you love to rev it.
No, I don't. He's just excited. We were like, maybe one day he wants to go on a ride. I don't know. He gets excited. And so normally I wouldn't care, but she just went to bed like a couple hours before when I got up. I don't want her to have to wake up in the middle of the night of her sleep hearing barking. So I'm like, I'll just drive the car.
It's a kind thing. A lot of people think you are this selfish jerk, and I don't understand where that comes from. There's a lot of empathy in CJ's. That's not true. I don't ever call you selfish. Ever.
No.
I think you're an incredible empath and a wonderful human being, and it's very nice for you to do those things. And that is on the record.
Yeah.
Today on the show, you're welcome. Today on the show, we got some tickets to give away, including some Monster Jam tickets. That's going to happen. We also get a Nerd Alert courtesy of Big J. We're going to go to hell. We're going to get your headlines. It is a packed Thursday show. On top of that, you add in some music. Nirvana kicking things off here on the morning after with Nick and Big J on the X Rocks. Big J, I believe you were joking with me and trying to mock and hurt my feelings when you talked about summer was here because of my jacket change. But
no, it's not mocking. It's just a fact. I mean, you run. You don't mind being hot.
Love it. But a real sign
so hot
that summer is here is it is opening weekend for Roaring Springs, Big J.
Ooh.
Get ready to live. It will open its doors to the public for the 26th time, beginning this weekend from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Visitors will be able to notice a brand new Jumbotron-style movie screen that has been installed above the wave pool, Big J, that will display soothing scenes of tropical islands and much more during the day. And then they're also going to host what they call, Big J, dive-in movie screenings throughout the summer. Oh. So you'll be able to enjoy some movies from the wave pool. If you're hoping to save some money on the price of admission, you can buy up to 2 20-ounce Coca-Cola products at any Treasure Valley Jackson's or Extra Mile. Buy Jackson's, and in return, you'll receive a voucher for up to $8 off for full-day admissions. That offer is valid 7 days a week, so that's a good way for you to save money. We're always looking out for you. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, we try.
So if you want to take the kids to Roaring Springs, there's an opportunity for you to save some cash and enjoy some of the new features and stay cool this summer, as a lot of people choose to do so. Go down the slides, Big J, hang out on the bumper boats. Maybe if you want to dry off, have a nice little round of mini golf, go inside, play some games. You can live it up, maybe do some bowling. There's lots to do at Roaring Springs, is what I'm saying. I get.
Done. Crap good.
So enjoy it and have a good time, and that's a great way to stay cool if you don't have access to a pool or you just want to have a nice little fun little party. Pitchers in the Philadelphia Phillies bullpen have come up with a new game to play as they wait to get called into each night's contest. They look at the fans in the stands at Citizens Bank Park, and they write down a prediction for that game's attendance on a baseball in the early evenings. Each guess is also marked with a jersey number and the player who made it. The pitcher who gets the closest to the attendance figure gets to keep the baseball as a memento. That's what they're telling you, but you know there's money on the line, Big J, right?
Always.
You know they're gambling to figure out who is closest to it. Nobody wants that baseball. These guys are baseball players. They get a baseball anytime they damn want to. Keep the baseball. They probably have baseballs coming out of their ears. They want cash, money, baby.
Yeah.
And so that is a way to do that, but I wonder how close they get, or if it's all part of something that's up on the Jumbotron. They don't really get into that in the story, but it is an interesting way to pass the time. And listen, there are sometimes, Big J, these pitchers are never going to get in the ball game, so you might as well have fun while you can, right?
Yep.
And enjoy. So that is a game you could play at the Boise Hawks game this summer, maybe. There are 72 people in attendance. See how close you get. Big J, you did not watch Yellowstone.
No.
But CBS has announced there will be a spin-off sequel show called Why Marshals for its mid-season lineup. Now, Luke Grimes, of course, who played Casey Dutton in the Yellowstone drama, will see his character joining an elite unit of U.S. Marshals. It will air Sundays at 9 p.m. Now, can I go off on a Yellowstone rant for just a second here? Is that okay? I know you didn't watch the show, so none of this will mean anything to you.
No, I understand quite a bit about the series.
But I enjoyed Yellowstone a whole lot up until the last season of the show. I felt like it fell apart really, really hard in the last season and did a lot of things that made no sense. But the one thing that was actually good about the Yellowstone finale and the way the show wrapped up was the progression of the character that Luke Grimes plays, Casey, in the show. Casey decides, after a serious, long internal conflict and being a part of things he didn't want to be a part of, that he was going to now leave the job of the policing and the oversight behind and focus on his family. His wife was pregnant with another kid. He's got a small son there, or I guess his son's a teenager at this point, on the show. And he was going to finally just settle down. They just made a crap ton of money from selling the ranch, and they were ready to go, and he was just going to chill, and he didn't want anything to do with being a marshal anymore.
Yeah.
That was not his life.
I want out.
I have
just
paid
like
my dues.
A mafia person.
Yes.
Weird.
And now he's going to join an elite unit of U.S. Marshals, which is completely in conflict of everything the character did. Yeah. I realize it's a cash grab, and Luke probably wants money just as much as the Yellowstone people do. But this is like a complete, just
he didn't sell a ranch
in the face.
Of
the character's decision. The only good decisions that was made in that finale was what they did with Casey's character, and now they're completely undoing that as well. I don't think I'm going to be watching Why Marshall, because now I'm upset about it. I've had a hard time digging in. I've tried to get into the prequels, even the Harrison Ford one that everybody says is so good. It's just, it's all set way, way, way in the past, and it's a snail's pace, man, and I can't do it. I'm trying. Don't give up on me, but I'm trying.
Or be like me, why bother?
Yeah, no, you might have had it right all the way. Although, listen, again, I will say 90% of Yellowstone is a good show and fun and interesting and kind of goofy, but boy, do they fumble the ending. Not as bad as Dexter or Game of Thrones. I'll put that out there, because that's still, in my opinion, really, really, really bad TV. But Yellowstone just, it goes off the really, it's because Kevin Costner wasn't a part of it. When you could tell there was a point where they're like, oh God, Kevin's not coming back. We got to figure out what to do, and they completely rush jobbed what they were going to do with all of it, and the ending didn't make any sense.
Was it his performance or the character?
No. So here's what happens. They build up all this stuff with Kevin Costner's character. He becomes the governor of Montana. Right. It's a huge deal. He's making this power play on this company that is coming after his land and all of this stuff. And one of the people that's involved in the company is sleeping with his kid and masterminding all this stuff and trying to turn him against the family. And then they take a break, and literally the next episode, if you've binged it like I did, he's dead. They just kill him off. And so all of this stuff becomes unresolved, and then they all just have to smash and grab in 3 episodes, because that's all that was left, really, or 4 or 5. and they have to figure out, okay, how do we come up with who killed him? How do we make this all make sense? And then how do we resolve all these issues?
Man.
And it's
what a bummer.
bad. It's bad. It's bad. So yeah, it was a pretty big bummer. Spoilers for Yellowstone, everybody. Morning After with Nick and Big
People are coming here for anyways.
There's your important stuff, and it doesn't get any more important than that. It's the X Rocks. That is Tool, that is Sober here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. We are your official morning show for robot news. There's nobody that talks more about robots than the Morning After with Nick and Big J. That, of course, is to prepare you both mentally and physically for the upcoming war and overthrowment of the human race by the robots when they become self-aware. So all of this is just in preparation. Please keep that in mind as we go forward. But according to a new survey from University Park in Pennsylvania, Big J, they found out that human beings, for whatever reason, also attach gender roles into the world of robots. And we automatically give male and female connotations to robots. There are apparently male-looking ones and female-looking ones to us, the human race. Of course.
No, there isn't.
Well, I mean, listen, what
these
do you
are
mean?
people who are basing their knowledge on things that they see in the media, not actual robots that are actually roboting.
Well, I mean,
There's no way. They're just the Boston Dynamics one looks like a damn dog. Some of them don't look like have any sexual components of any kind.
Sure, but it's
just based on what we perceive as the role of what the robot is going to do.
I believe this is under the same kind of umbrella as people, and there are plenty of them out there, I'm sure you know one or two, that attach gender roles to dogs and cats, whereas every dog they see is a boy and every cat they see is a girl. There's some sort of way that some people are wired that's the way they see. And if you call like a robot Rosie the maid from the Jetsons, you assume that that's a woman, right?
Well, I would assume that you've hired that robot to be your
maid,
servant.
so
Your
that
maid.
makes
Yes.
her a woman, I guess. But the Rosie name, even though there is no gender attached to that robot, you assume it's a woman robot because of the name that is given to the robot, or maybe the appearance of the robot itself, even though there clearly is no gender there. It's just the way that our brains are wired, based on names, or if robot looks quote-unquote cute to us, we assemble a female name or gender to that robot in particular. If the robot is doing tough and robotic work like it's part of the industrial complex, that becomes a man robot in our eyes. It's the way that we attach gender to humans. We do the same thing when we see robots, and that's just the way that our brains are wired, or at least according to the survey, it is. Depending on how delicate or cute the robot is, it becomes a female robot. And depending how tough and burly the robot is, it's a male robot to the people that did this study anyway, or at least partook in this particular study, according to the researchers. So that is something to consider going forward. I don't know how that impacts us in any way. It's just probably the way our brains are wired. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. It seems like it's an assumptive thing, no matter what.
I suppose.
Regardless with anybody, whether it's robot or otherwise, for you to assume whatever they're doing is quite the affront. But we'll see how that goes going forward. How this will help us in the upcoming war, I do not know, but it's just knowledge that I feel like people should have. So that maybe you don't accidentally, get caught up in something. Like maybe you feel safer around a robot that you deem female. That's not true, Big J.
Just wait till the robot starts suing us for misidentifying them.
That's right. Listen, but if they become self-aware, Big J, they're going to have feelings too. And it's something you need to take into account because
that's what I'm afraid of.
You're afraid of getting sued by a robot?
No, I'm afraid that they're going to start to have feelings. My God, crap.
Yeah. Because it's something you need. I mean, listen, if they all get struck by lightning and start to go Johnny Five on us, it's something you need to be aware of.
I'll tell you this. It's hard for me, and you know this, to watch movies with robots in it.
Right.
Because I get over empathetic towards them. And I start crying right away. Like, even before something happens, I'm like, something terrible is going to happen to this robot. And I feel for it, and I shouldn't. It's a robot.
Like we said when we opened up the show, Big J, you're an empath. And you
don't know why this happened to me. I hate it.
I blame probably the movie AI back in the day when they did terrible things to a young Haley Joel Osment robot that probably shouldn't be seen with human eye.
iRobot, I watched that movie a lot.
The Will Smith one?
Yeah, that might be part of it.
I don't know if I remember anything about it. I know I saw it in the theater, but
Will had his character had a hatred towards the robots.
Okay.
And then it comes out that there's blah, blah, blah. They are genetically engineered. You know, they have feelings and they can make autonomous decisions. And so now they become people. And it's like, oh, crap. I think that's what ruined it for me. Like, oh, no.
Yeah. But listen, it's going to happen. I mean, already the AI is learning and understanding and kind of figuring out human emotions. And if you get a robot that's programmed one, it's not so long before the robot that you've hired to vacuum your floor, Big J, is crying in the corner because you call it claptrap and it doesn't like it. Morning After with Nick and Big J.
I didn't name it claptrap.
There's your robot update. It is the X Rocks.
The best in tech and gaming. Big J's Nerd Alert on 100.3 The X Rocks.
All right, Nerd Alert today. We're taking a deep dive into Grand Theft Auto 6, Nick. Rockstar Games is now claiming that the GTA 6 Trailer 2 is the biggest launch of a video game of all time. It told the Hollywood reporter that the trailer number 2 that just came out the other day hit 475 million views across all platforms on its first day. That's bigger than all other movie trailer launches, including Deadpool and Wolverine's 365 million views in just 24 hours. The Fantastic Four had 200 million. Superman last year launched over to 250 million views. That was DC Warner's biggest trailer ever. And GTA 6 Trailer 2 overshadows them all. It's also worth noting that GTA 6 saw the first trailer that came out a year ago, saw 93 million views on its first day just on YouTube alone. Now, they only exclusively released it via YouTube. This one, they released it on multiple platforms all over the place, and you could see that it made a remarkable difference there. And according to IGN, they reported about this. The Pointer Sisters song Hot Together has seen a monumental increase in Spotify streams, 182,000%, Nick. So this is a cultural phenomenon, to say the least. Grand Theft Auto, quote, cuts through popular culture like almost nothing else. Spotify's global head of editorial, Saluna Ong, said in a statement, music has been synonymous with the series since the very beginning, so it's great to see fans of both new and established connecting with an iconic track in that way. It is a huge thing. Now, here's an interesting aspect of this, and something that we talked about when we watched it. Here is that how good it looks, and sometimes it's too good to be true. So some people were casting down on a small print at the end of the trailer, but that was suggesting that it was captured on a PS5. The footage came from there in a social media post. Developer GTA 6 Trailer 2 was, quote, entirely in-game from a PS5, and not only that, it contains equal parts gameplay and cutscenes. So some of that in the trailer is gameplay, and that is mind-blowing. The mind-blowing part about that, too, is that by the time the game comes out in May 26th of 2026, the PS5 will be 5.5 years old.
God, really?
Yeah. So it's crazy when you think about where we've come from, the fact that in 2022, there was that huge leak from some hacker stole all the information and a bunch of code and put it out there, and then we get the release of the first trailer, and now we have this. Rockstar knew they were going to be delaying this, and so they're like, what do we do? They put out this trailer, you get all that, but they didn't just put out the trailer, Nick. There is a ton of information, excuse me, on the game. Screenshots, over 70 screenshots, information about a bunch of the main characters in this game, all available at rockstargames.gta6, and it's quite incredible, the detail that they're going in, because they've been keeping everything in the dark for so long. They wanted to give everybody something to look forward to and probably help ease the suffering of some shareholders, which it did bounce back a little bit yesterday, about 2 to 3% based on the trailer, but that's kind of subsided a little bit too. But then you've got other variants with tariff and all that stuff that's happening in the stock market. But it is going to be a huge thing. It's a cultural phenomenon. Everybody wants a part of it, and the scope of this game is huge. It's ginormous. The map is going to be huge. They are including just swaths of stuff, and all these screenshots you can see is really incredible stuff.
Yeah, I read a post online yesterday that came from, how it's an anonymous person from inside Rockstar, so who knows how accurate it is, but it went viral so quick that it attached at least some sort of credit to it. But the post said that they work at Rockstar, and that they wanted everybody to know that the reason why they can come up with these trailers and make this stuff happen so quick is because the actual game play has been done for a while. It's like ready to go. The map's set. The game is done. All the narrative things are finished. They're ready to go. What they're trying to amplify and make sure they get right before the release and why it was delayed is they apparently are having real issues with the online version, and they want to make sure they get it dialed in before it goes public, because that was a big problem when GTA 5 went online. Yeah. Everybody was upset about how it all played and how it all rendered and how it all came down. And so they're like, they don't want to drop the ball because they have so much riding on this game that they can't afford the online component to be a mess, and that's what's delaying this release, because the game's ready, the online version is not.
The GTA 5 online has made Take-Two billions of dollars, and nobody expected that. They never expected that in their wildest dreams. So, yeah, that has become a huge component that they need to have situated and figured out, because people are so invested now in GTA 5 online that it's going to be a weird and awkward transition for some, but that it looks like it's going to be fantastic.
Now, because you play it online, have they been telling you like you're able to transfer the stuff over to
no,
or you have to start from scratch?
It's pretty clear that it's going to be a totally new environment and game, and it has to be, because that stuff is all old gen at this point. Even though it's on new gen, this stuff is being built with that in mind, as where the online sections, they're finally kind of tapered off the old, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and are trying to move forward in GT Online. But I think that there's not a lot of stuff that's going to be crossed over for it.
Got it. Is that your Nerd Alert?
That's the Nerd Alert, man.
Thank you very much, Big J. Coming up in a few minutes, some important stuff along with We're Going to Hell. It's next on the X.
Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Important stuff brought to you by the best seats in the house. Get ready, because beginning Monday, the X and Birds of Prey Motorsports in Caldwell are going to give you a chance to win the best seats in the house for X-Fest 2025. Yeah, the show that features Chevelle, Asking Alexandria, Dead Poet Society, and more. It's happening October 1st. And we're going to give you a chance to sit in the X VIP section in a comfortable brand new 2025 Maverick X3 DS Turbo side-by-side. It is a beautiful piece of machinery. You're sitting in leather, comfy seats. Got a nice little riser above everybody else. I mean, you're living the high life, friend.
You get to know what it's like to be rich.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll never experience that. You get to. It's pretty cool. We're going to give you 3 chances to get qualified beginning Monday, 7:30, 12:30, and 5:10. And we're going to play the X's spelling bee. Yep, you're going to have to spell words correctly to get qualified.
Suckers.
All of the words are going to be X-themed, and we are going to give you a chance to get in on them. Some of them will be very, very easy, and some of them will be a little bit more challenging. So tune in and play and win VIP tickets to X-Fest 2025, including the best seats in the house, courtesy of the official retailer of fun, Birds of Prey Motorsports. Big J, if you have ever seen me walking around over the last couple of weeks, you know I have a limp. It is because my knee has been absolutely killing me. Research from the University of Wahoo found that at least half of people over the age of 30 have some sort of significant knee damage, even if they don't have any symptoms. What they did was they grabbed about 20,000 people over the age of 30 and threw them in an MRI machine, and about 2/3 of people that are still considered young adults have some kind of cartilage damage done in their knee. More than half had small bone growths going on, which of course will lead to problems down the road. The average participant in this study was 33 and a half years old. They were not experiencing knee problems yet, but with knee damage, guess what? You're going to have some issues as your years go on. This could mean, arthritis forming years later, which is decades earlier than people thought. Of course, they all recommend that if you want to avoid knee problems, hey, lose a couple LBs and you'll be in good shape. But
better yet, stop walking.
Yeah. I mean,
get a wheelchair.
I'm going to wally it up here very, very soon if we don't figure out this knee thing.
What you can do, Nick, is go to the doctor and then start that whole thing.
I was talking to the girlfriend about this as well last week. It's not like I don't know what's wrong. I have known for years that I have torn several ligaments in my knee playing football.
You just don't want to deal with it.
I do not want to have the surgery and have been putting it off. And I have good times and bad times, but like the last 3 weeks, I think part of it was because we did the count. We walked like 15 miles in Vegas in 3 days. And so since then, I have been really, really sore in my knee, and it's been really, really bothering me, specifically in a part that's never really messed with me before, so that's a little bit concerning. But listen, I'm damn near 50 years old. I've had a knee problem since I've been 15. This is not surprising. But I've also, the one time I've had surgery to correct something, it didn't go well, so you can understand maybe my apprehension about going under the knife again.
Orthopedic's different than internal medicine.
This is true.
That's a mess inside inside that area in particular.
Yeah.
The orthopedic stuff they have done down pat. And so, knee replacements and all of those things and fixing those ligaments, I mean, it's quite streamlined. I have an issue where my knee pops on the regular. Like, it's a loud pop. I don't know. It doesn't really hurt the majority of the time, but, there's something there. That's not right, for sure. But I'm not out there, busting out, running, doing laps and stuff like that. So
your knee hasn't dislocated 5 times in the last 3 years?
I don't know what that feels like.
It doesn't feel great. Let me tell you right now. It does not feel great.
I would probably not deal with it and go get it done.
What feels worse? Popping it back in. I'll tell you that right now, Big J. That's the worst.
How about this? No pops. Go see Doc. Play him some 9 Inch Nails while the surgery's happening. He'll be all right.
All right, maybe. I don't know, but I'm not looking forward to it. Big J, be on the lookout. There will be new autographed Patrick Mahomes trading cards floating around out there. Mahomes just signed a new deal with Panini America, which means for the first time his autographed cards will appear in licensed products since sets were released in 2020. So it's the first time in 5 years you have a chance to get yourself a little bit of some autographed Patrick Mahomes memorabilia added to the collection. Hold on to it because it'll be worth a pretty good amount of money when he gets elected in the Hall of Fame in like 15 years. So, that's nice. All the years that I have collected cards, that was a big part of my childhood. Although to be fair, it's a lot different now. Like, I mean, there's a lot more, I feel like autographs somewhat readily available in card packs. They weren't really a thing when we were kids. But I really only pulled like 3 or 4 really good cards in all the years that I collected those cards that were worth something.
Like, what's worth something?
Anything more than $75, I would say.
Okay.
Like, I got a Shaquille O'Neal trade-in rookie card that still right now is worth about $125 that I have. That's probably good. I had a couple of Michael Jordans early on, like not rookie cards, but the year after that were going for like $50 a pop because there was a fairly rare thing. But God knows where those cards are at this particular. I know they're in my house somewhere, just no idea which box in the garage they're in.
Yeah.
But I have them.
Well, the process for getting cards graded is easier now more than ever. I think it's one of those things that with the digital world, it's made trading cards a little bit more interesting.
But more expensive as well to not only play in, but also gamble with and see if there's anything inside these cards that might be worth something.
There's a lot of places out there now, there are a couple different competing companies that, they will broker your cards. So they'll do digital card reveals and you can either keep your card there or you can have it sent to you, that kind of thing. That's just making money hand over fist doing that.
No kidding. But it's like gambling. Like, you have to have money to play that game.
Yeah.
You can't go in like, I got $100. That's not, you were talking thousands of dollars to get into that world.
Yeah, but here's the thing. In some of these packs, like, they guarantee, like, there's going to be some high, falutin cards in here.
Yeah.
So they're really playing on people's gambling addicts.
And that's really what it boils down to. You're absolutely right.
Damn it.
Do you want to play wrong or do you not?
You want to play a game?
Big J, I've got a mission for you because beginning with the 83rd Annual Golden Globe Awards, they have announced a new award category honoring the best podcast of the year, which means we need to make a heavy pitch for either the Morning After podcast or the Morning After with Movies podcast. Which one do you think has a better shot at winning a Golden Globe?
Neither.
Aw.
Sorry. I was just thinking we need to do more in our movie podcast. We had Ed Helms on a few weeks ago for his podcast Snafu.
Yeah.
And I've listened to all 3 seasons. Man, they should win an award for production. Like, the stuff that they put in there. I mean, we don't put anything in.
Yeah, but you remember
about the movie.
when Ed Helms was on the show and talked about how he has a team of like 50 people working on that podcast, right?
Yeah, yeah. We're the team. I'm the team, right. And so I feel like we could do some more stuff to make it more interesting. But then, Mike, we don't.
But when we did, remember when we did, and we cut in parts of the trailer in the podcast? We have probably 18 times more listeners now than we did back then.
Also, Listen, our podcast is great. We get a lot of listens, a lot of downloads, but we never hear squat from people about it. It's not like there's a conversation. There's,
Now that's not fair. I do get DMs on Instagram about our Morning After the Movies podcast. So
nobody in my life cares, I guess.
Well, they like my opinion. Morning After with Nick and but you're still saying we're not going to win a Golden Globe.
I'm sorry. We're not going to win a Golden Globe this time.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. We're going to go to hell. It's next on the X Rocks.
Rotten hell, you worthless maggot!
The Morning After with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X Rocks.
We are headed to Florida for today's We're Going to Hell story, Big J.
Florida.
And man, sometimes when you're in a relationship, it's the best thing in your entire life. And other times when you're in a relationship and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you just want to play video games, all they do is nag. You understand?
I guess, yeah.
And today's We're Going to Hell story is about the life of 39-year-old Allison Swan. Now, of course, she is a nurse and works very hard during the day. And when she comes home to her wife, she wants to just kind of relax. And it was 3 o'clock in the morning. She had gone to the microwave and was heating herself up a nice plate of nachos, Big J. I'm sure you can relate.
Man. Yeah.
Some 3 a.m. video game nachos. And she's just sitting on the couch, eating nachos, playing video games, 3 o'clock in the morning, living the life, bro.
God bless her.
When her wife gets out of bed and realizes that her spouse is playing video games, and she says, hey, listen, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't you want to get some sleep? And oh, by the way, you probably shouldn't be eating this late anyway. I mean, you're putting on a couple of LBs with all those nachos.
Oh, my God.
Well,
let's go.
That's all it took. Yep. Up goes Allison Swan, and she says, oh, you think I'm eating too many nachos? She grabs a plate of nachos, Big J, and shoves it
right in her face.
Down the back of the victim's leggings. So now she's got just nacho cheese all down her backside, right?
Wait, so these were sophisticated nachos. She's got nacho cheese?
Well, I mean, there's always cheese on nachos, isn't there?
Yeah, but usually, I was just picturing, like, they threw on some shredded cheddar. And
sure, but if it's melted, I'm sure it's rolling down, it's melting down her leg.
Nah.
No?
Not at that point. I mean, that's coagulated and... this doesn't stay very slimy for very long.
In my mind, she is working some Velveeta in here, and so it's runny cheese now
sophisticated.
Running down her leg, and she's not happy about it. But that's not all, At that point, then Swan drags her wife onto the floor and starts fish hooking her, Big J, which is, if you're not familiar, sticking your fingers in somebody's mouth and then grabbing the side of their cheek until their head kind of twists. It's not great.
That's assault, brother.
During the confrontation, neighbors at the trailer park heard them arguing.
Oh no!
And so police then showed up. When they did, Swan said that her wife must have knocked the chips on the floor and rolled around them a little bit. That's why there's nacho cheese all over her. But of course, that's when the victim was like, no, she shoved nachos down my pants and then also fish hooked me. Well, they inspected the inside of her leggings and found a bunch of cheese and stuff inside of there. So they're like, well, clearly she put cheese inside the leggings and not rolled around in them. Like, the story wasn't adding up for Swan, I guess, is my point. And so, essentially, she was arrested for domestic battery, and she is waiting a bond being posted right now. She also has a restraining order against her wife, so that relationship appears to be on the rocks at the very least. But see what happens, what nachos and video games can do to a relationship, Big J? And break things up.
Yeah.
It could be the actual breaking point of somebody's relationship, so something to keep in mind going forward.
Yeah, maybe only one criticism at a time.
Either you're fat or you're gaming too much.
Make up your mind, but not both.
Not both. Even if it's 3 o'clock in the morning?
That will not stand.
Okay. All right. That's relationship advice free of charge, courtesy of Big J. You pick out one thing and you latch onto it, but don't you bring up more than one. Because that could be a deal breaker. And now you know. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. It is the X-Rocks. Rage Against the Machine, people of the sun, here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Big J, we have been in this business for a very long time, but one of our passions continues to be seeing live music. Agree or disagree?
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for us to see our favorite bands live. Hell, we just made the pilgrimage to Vegas so that we could see AC/DC, a band that neither of us have seen live before. It's something that we wanted to do, and absolutely no regrets on doing something like that, even though it costs a little bit more than the usual concert experience would, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And so there are a lot of people that do things like that, whether you're somebody that likes to take road trips to some gigantic music festival like we've done before, or just go on the road or see your favorite band when they come to town. It's great to see your favorite bands in concert.
I know a couple people or some folks who went to multiple AC/DC shows.
Yeah, me too.
It was crazy, man.
It is, and none of that is cheap. Flying all around, following your favorite band, whatever the case may be, there's a certain amount of cost that goes into going to check out a band live, and a lot of times it's absolutely 100% worth it. Yeah. And I think we've all kind of seen that cost go up a little bit, but one thing you may have noticed, and you're going to notice in the future, especially if you like to check out something or prove that you are at a show, is the cost of show merch has risen exponentially in the last calendar year.
Lord. Hoodies.
And it's going to go up even more. We went to AC/DC. Did you see some of the prices on some of the stuff?
$85.
Yep. Yeah. For a hoodie, it was $55 for a t-shirt. If you notice, like almost everybody in the stadium had these flashing like devil horns that if you were walking in, you had the Timo version for like $10, but when you got into the actual stadium and bought the AC/DC branded ones, those were $35. So like the cheapest merch was $35. You could grab a jacket for I think $110 was the most that I saw for anything at it, but it still was like wow, $55 for a t-shirt. Well, if you like to get t-shirts from bands you're going to see, you're going to see an exponential raise in those particular costs, according to a new report, because, well, most of the merchandise that is made for these particular shows and for artists in general come out of Asia and Central America. They are going to be impacted by some of the exponential costs that, tariffs coming into the country are going to cost. And so they released a projected price increase for your average merch at a concert. Are you ready to find out what these prices are going to be?
Sure, man.
You want a t-shirt, it's going to cost you $65. If you want a hoodie, they're talking $150 to grab a hoodie for your actual concert.
This is the problem without having actual manufacturing in the United States.
Yeah, but it takes a while to build that stuff.
Right, but we had it, and then we let it go. And because the cost of labor was too much, and, I was just reading an article recently about the cost of labor in China has gone up exponentially. It's not like slave labor there anymore. They pay them, regular wages,
right,
etc. But, it's hard to find manufacturing of shirts of any kind or any of the clothing in that regard that's done here exclusively in America. And when you do find those American-made products, they are a little bit more expensive. But are they going to be as expensive as that? Probably not.
Who knows?
But it's, that's something that I think we need to do a better job of creating that opportunity so that it can be a little cheaper cost, but also keep it here in the United States.
Well, not to get into the weeds, but I mean, the other aspect of it is to find people that do those jobs. Right now, there are 50,000 manufacturing jobs open that they can't find anybody to do because the cost of those jobs, what they pay per hour, isn't something that is able to expedite. So there's lots of manufacturing jobs available if you want them. The problem is they don't pay that great, and that is another problem altogether that it has to do with the American labor system that we can get into if you want to. But like there are multiple problems on multiple levels. It's not just that they don't have the manufacturing places here. It's like if you want to do that on a mass level, you need people to make those products, and they don't want to work for $13 an hour.
Yeah.
That's just not something that they want to do. And
not when you can go work at the fast food joint for $18.
It becomes a problem, a systematic problem that we need to figure out. But it's not just shirts and t-shirts that are going to pay the price. You're going to see posters go anywhere from $20 to $50. Stickers, which were basically like $3 a piece to $5, they're going to go anywhere from $10 to $15. So there's going to be a pretty significant increase in your merch spending prices and your budget that you're going to need here very, very soon to see your favorite. If you haven't seen an increase already like we did, I mean, we've seen it. It's there. Like think about how much a t-shirt is now. Anywhere you go, it's probably twice as much as it was just a year and a half or 2 years ago.
Here's who this really hurts: the smaller bands.
Sure.
Because AC/DC, no offense to you, you're not living off of the merch.
That is correct.
That's all just that's extra money for them. Same with Metallica or any of these bigger bands that have been around for a while. But our newer bands that are out there that don't have those ginormous albums that have made millions upon millions of dollars and don't have billions of Spotify listens and stuff, they're surviving and making their money off of merch.
Yeah.
And it's going to take a big hit on those guys. And they've been trying. I mean, it's not easy to tour the United States of America, especially here in the West, for some of these smaller bands that come through, even bands that sell out like nothing more. I mean, they're not making tons of money.
No.
They need that merch stuff to make it worthwhile, and so they can keep on doing what they do. And it's going to make it even more difficult.
So start saving your money, I guess, is our point. Because they listen.
For October 1st, preferably.
They need to fill their tanks with the money that they make in merch. So it is important to support these bands, and they come on through. It's just going to cost a little bit more to do so. And we're letting you know that's the case. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Hey, there's your band merch update coming up in a few minutes. Some important stuff and your pop culture smackdown. It's the X Rocks.
Man, she a legend.
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Important stuff brought to you by Pioneer Federal Credit Union. Guess where Big J and I will be on Saturday from 3 to 5?
I mean, I know where we'll be.
Oh, where?
Pioneer Federal Credit Union.
Nailed it, dude. 6115 West Overland Road, to be exact. That's their grand opening for that big branch, and Big J will be out there broadcasting live along with myself. They're going to have some food trucks out there. World's best corn dogs, Stella's ice cream. They'll have a money machine and a chance to win some prizes. So come on out and join the fun. Pioneer Federal Credit Union's newest branch is at 6115 West Overland Road. We're going to be out there for their grand opening, broadcasting live 3 to 5. A chance to win some tickets, play some games with us, have a good time, and enjoy the grand opening celebration. And oh, by the way, Pioneer Federal Credit Union giving away $1,000, a brand new ATV, and more. So check it out for yourself. Mark it down on your calendar. We're going to be out there 3 to 5 Saturday, broadcasting live. Lots of people love summer, Big J. They love the heat. They love the opportunity to go out to the beach, have themselves some fun, enjoy the outdoors a little bit. But there is one particular group of people that apparently do not look forward to summer every year, according to a new survey. Those people are parents. About 1 in 3 people that have young children say summer is their least favorite time of the year because, listen, man, the anxiety is at an all-time high. The end of the school year makes them a little bit nervous about daycare and the additional costs that go along with that to make sure the kids are taken care of so that they can still keep their job. And then, it's always on. There's some anxiety attached to being overwhelmed or feeling anxious about that kind of stuff. Of course, those who are most stressed about the summertime are the ones that have the younger kids that are in school full-time and making sure they have the care that they need. 33% worry that they don't have enough time for themselves. And May and June are the most stressful months of the year for those particular parents, and so something to keep in mind. Of course, it's never easy. The cost of childcare has increased exponentially over the last couple of years as well, so it's an additional cost and some expense attached to it. But, we've talked about this before. There is a problem, I think, when you automatically equate school with childcare. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they're not your babysitter. I know it seems like it is, and it's nice to have that particular thing and not have to worry about it, but I think that's where we kind of get into some issues. There's a little bit more to it than that, but yes, childcare is an expensive cost, and that's not going to go down anytime soon. And I can understand why summer is certainly stressful and certainly more financially impactful than other months of the year, so it's all totally understandable why this can be a stressful time of year if you have young kids or kids in general that need additional care in the summertime. It's a real thing. Big J, in the world of transfer portals and NIL deals worth millions of dollars, it's almost maybe refreshing to hear about a school that's being punished because they don't have the academics to carry on. Akron football, Big J, they're going to be ineligible for the postseason in 2025 because of their academic progress report. They had a multi-year score of 914, which measures a 4-year time frame and is below the required threshold of 930 in order to keep your program eligible. So Akron will become the first school to be banned from the postseason for academic reasons since Big J 2014. What school was banned from postseason activity because of poor academic performance? Any guesses?
In 2014?
Yep, that's the last time this happened.
I have no idea.
It's the University of Idaho. The Vandals did not meet the academic requirements.
Oh, damn.
That's the last time this happened.
That's what they were known for, is their academics.
So no bowls next season. It's highly unlikely they would qualify for one. They're 8-28 over the last 3 seasons. Anyway, they last played a bowl game in 2017, but the Zips still will not be allowed to take part in any bowl games, regardless of how their season goes next year. Got to get those grades up, kids. Let's go.
Yeah.
And so we'll see if they end up doing it, but I'm sure the ripple effects through the Akron, Ohio community that can be felt all the way here in Idaho. Amy Poehler staying busy, or as Big J likes to call her, Amy Fuller. She's going to reunite with her Parks and Rec co-star Mike Schur for a comedy called Dig, which Peacock has already ordered a series. She, of course, also has her brand new podcast out, so she is doing a bunch of new things to keep her in front of people and in front of your mind's eye as well. This will air up at the beginning of next year. It's going to start shooting in the fall, so if you like Parks and Rec, odds are you're probably going to enjoy this show as well. No idea what it's about just yet, but the Hollywood Reporter is excited, and so should you be, because Amy is incredibly funny. Agree or disagree, Big?
Yeah, very.
And so we will see what she's up to next. She's been in a couple of things, certainly some movies. I don't think she's been in a TV series in front of the camera since Parks and Rec, unless I'm forgetting something, which I very well could be.
I don't think so.
But she's done a lot of stuff, just not a series regular or a star. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. We got your Pop Culture Smackdown, and we're going to do it next on the X.
Pop Culture Smackdown. On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Yeah, and if you can beat Nick here at Pop Culture Smackdown today, you get yourself some Monster Jam tickets. Monster Jam kicking off tomorrow afternoon, evening at the Ford Idaho Center, and tickets for that still available. Go check those out. We'll hook you up. But you got to beat Nick in Pop Culture Smackdown. You can do it. I believe in you.
Been pretty easy this week, and if you want a piece of me, then get on the phone, 208-287-1003. Big J will test your pop culture knowledge, usually using the crutch of multiple choices, whereas I never get any.
You don't need them. You get them, and you will get the answer right.
We will see how it goes to those of you that want to check out Monster Jam and enjoy a little bit of monster truck action, living the high life, hanging out at the Idaho Center Arena, watching these trucks go over cars, destroy things, have a good time, doing backflips. It's all sorts of cool fun. So good luck to everybody, including you, Big J, asking the questions. To the phones,
I need it.
We go. Hello, the X.
Hi.
Hi, who's this?
Molly.
All right, Molly, you're up first. Good luck.
Molly, which action star made headlines earlier this week by confirming a sequel to one of his most memorable movies, Face Off? Was it Nicolas Cage, Sylvester Stallone, or Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh, that's a good one. I want to say it's the first one.
Nicolas Cage is correct.
Yes.
That's the correct answer.
Good job.
Nick, Doc Brown from the Back to the Future films had a catchphrase throughout the movies. What was it?
Great Scott.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Molly
thanks,
and I are
Molly.
on the same page.
We're on the same page.
Thank you, Molly.
All right, Molly, this is your question. If you heard the line "To Infinity and Beyond," what movie are you watching?
Toy Story.
There we go. Right. Nick, what was director James Gunn's directorial debut feature film?
Now, are we talking about the Tromaverse, or are we
Nope.
talking? We're
feature
not.
film. Those were shorts.
Oh, Romeo and Juliet was a full film. I don't know if it got a theatrical release, therefore not a feature. That would be my argument. The first film he directed, I mean, I want to say Slither. I'm going to say Slither.
Slither's the right answer.
Right. Feels good.
Molly, James Gunn is putting the final touches on his next big superhero movie for DC. What hero might that be? Superman, the Hulk, or Batman?
Superman.
There you go. She's on it. Nick,
Molly's
in
on
the
again.
show Yellowstone,
Yeah.
what is Rip's last name?
Oh, do they ever? I mean, I'm sure they tell him at some point what his last name is, but everybody calls him Rip, and he doesn't like talking about his past because it's not great.
Yeah.
I could give you first names. I'm not going to give you the last name of Rip. That's not going to happen. That did not resonate with me at all. Molly, did you ever watch Yellowstone?
I did.
Do you know what Rip's last name is?
Um,
It is Cole Hauser. So,
Yeah.
need a lady. Probably all. Ooh. That's
Yeah.
all right. It's Wheeler.
Wheeler, Rip Wheeler. Okay.
Rip Wheeler.
I mean, maybe it rings a bell, but it's not something that pops up a
No,
whole bunch.
weird.
Molly, congratulations. You got yourself all set up to go check out some Monster Jam this weekend. Hang on 1 second. Well played. We will make sure you're good to go there. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We got your headlines. They're next on the X Rocks.
Your daily update of really stupid stuff. It's time for headlines on the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Headlines brought to you by T Mazda and the pre-owned superstore. Getting financed at T Mazda even easier now thanks to this website, GoTeamMazda.com and GoTeamCredit.com. Everyone gets pre-approved, no effect to your credit. You can check it out for yourself. Log on to GoTeamCredit.com and get started today. Before you know it, Big J, you're driving off in a vehicle that you absolutely love, like you have several times.
Yeah.
Headlines are as follows. Rocket, no! Wake and bake and seems cruel.
Rocket, no!
Ohio police reportedly found a pet raccoon in a car with a meth pipe in its mouth, Big J, during a traffic stop.
Oh, hell.
I mean, a raccoon on meth? Can you imagine?
Yes.
Oh, tell me what you see in your imagination.
Oh, I see The Hangover 2 with the monkey. I mean, it's a little shorter.
All right. Shorter than the
That
monkey.
guy had a cigarette the whole time.
Yeah.
Probably joint too.
The Springfield Township Police Department said Officer Austin Brannahan made the stop and detained the driver. However, Chewy, the driver's pet raccoon, got into some mischief. Chewy had somehow gotten a hold of a glass meth pipe, leading officers to further inspect the vehicle. The driver is now facing drug charges as well. The good news is no raccoons were hurt or injured in the incident, according to the police report. But now you know we got to send Chewy to rehab, right?
Wait, I thought that, though, I think you buried the headline here. I thought they found the raccoon in the meth pipe in the driver's seat.
No, just in the car. It wasn't in the driver's seat. Maybe he moved into the driver's seat when the driver got out of the vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Because they did arrest the driver, so somebody was driving
This
that car.
raccoon's driving this car all high.
No. Even the raccoon knows better than that. And you know as well as I do that Chewy's the co-pilot, not the pilot. Come on.
True.
Wake and bake or seems cruel.
Wake and bake.
Residents of the Turkish town of Lice may have experienced a secondhand high after police decided to burn 20 tons of confiscated marijuana right in the city center early in the morning. It took 5 days for the entire crop to burn. Locals could not open up their doors or their windows. The destroyed cannabis was valued at $261 million.
Holy crap.
And it was done as a preventative measure to deter, but, you know, the fact is everybody got super high, and now everybody's like, man, maybe this isn't so bad. I had a really good time last couple of days.
Why have I been fighting this all my life?
I mean, it seems like I've been pretty relaxed. My anxiety's gone. I don't know, man.
Everything I ate was delicious.
So because of this particular thing, the city is now recommending that police dispose of the marijuana in factories with filtered chimneys instead of burning it in the public square, because that seemed to have backfired on them. But yeah, I can understand. I mean, there are kids in this town. I mean, it seems like a really strange decision,
It's a
right?
bad idea.
Yeah. Not a lot of smart leadership there in the town of Lice, Big J.
We got other problems, sounds like.
We'll wrap it up with seems cruel. Apparently, there's a person that got a 3-cent bill addressed to their father that had passed away about a year ago. They received a bill for prescriptions from their insurance company that totaled 3 cents, and the warning that they were going to be sent to collections over unpayment, according to the person that posted the story. He says he's definitely going to pay the 3 cents, along with a personal note to let him know that his father had indeed passed away. But it seems a little bit crazy for any company to send you to collections over 3 cents. Agree or disagree?
Yeah.
According to recent research from the UFC Schaefer Center, about 1 in 5 adults report receiving a medical charge that they don't agree with on a fairly regular basis. But 3 cents once you're dead seems also like salt in the moon.
Well, it's just an automated thing.
Right.
I mean, no person even saw that.
You're 100% right. There's like it's from computer printout to the post office.
They actually are losing money sending that with the postage.
But I don't know how I would react if I got a bill for 3 cents. Like, I mean, would I even? I'm like, do you even bother with something like that?
Take me to collections.
Like, what do you do? I mean, it probably costs you more to charge that on your credit card than it does to pay the bill.
I make a TikTok about it.
Smart. This one went to Reddit, so I guess whichever social media you choose is up to you. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There are your headlines. You're officially up to date on everything. It is the X Rocks. Filter, hey man, nice shot here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Big J, talk to us about the future of broadcasting, please.
Yeah, I don't know. It's shaky sometimes, Nick. We talked about this earlier this week that NBC is bringing back NBA games, and along with it, they wanted to start throwing in the hype machine because this isn't happening until next year. They threw in that Round All Rock song that, if you watched the NBA at any time in the 90s, you remember that. Da-na-na-na-na-na, that sign. They were taking it one step further, Nick. And during that period of time, the voice guy for NBC Sports was Jim Fagan. He unfortunately passed away in 2017. They have unearthed his voice, AI style, for the at least for the promo that they're running. Of course, the family was all for this opportunity. I'm sure they probably got a little money on the hand, which is nice. But it would be weird, I think, especially where that's several years ago to hear your father's voice used in a promo as something new. That would be kind of crazy and weird. But I think this is something we should probably get used to happening. Now, of course, Al Michaels famously they used an AI voice for recaps of the Olympics. And that was a big deal. This is one of the first times that somebody who has passed away, their voice is being unearthed for this purpose. And I think it's probably just, this is going to be the norm on stuff like this.
Now, not the first time any of this has happened. Of course, Fred Astaire popping up in a Red Devil commercial like 15 years ago was a thing.
That was crazy.
And then, you have like, back when James Earl Jones was still alive, he signed a deal to be the voice of Darth Vader in perpetuity. So that's going to be all AI generated going forward. That was with his permission. Same thing with Al Michaels doing the Olympics. He signed on for that with the understanding they were going to do this. This is the first incident of somebody that is no longer with us, probably back in 2017 when he passed away, unfortunately. This wasn't even a topic of conversation. I think AI was probably in its very early years. We were talking about using it to clone voices in any way, shape, or form. So probably unaware. Wonder how he would feel. I'm sure the family weighed that decision before they said okay. But we live in a world of radio broadcasting where our voices live on long after. I don't think I ever told you about this, but you work with people that unfortunately pass away. And when I was in Florida, worked with somebody that passed away. I didn't know him that well, but was there. But there are voices, his voice is still part of commercials down the road, like 6 months, a year later, where they're still not there. There are people that no longer work here that still have voices sometimes on things like what you do here no longer becomes your intellectual property. And so it's weird. Like, they would be hard pressed to do like the Nick and Big J show after we're gone for whatever reason. But there still is a possibility of like you hearing our voices long after we're not there, which is a weird sensation and feeling. But we kind of understand that in this business. I don't know if they do in the world of voiceovers. It's a whole different world altogether. Are you comfortable with that as a broadcast professional?
I mean, as long as somebody's getting compensated for it.
But they're not.
Yeah.
Once the voice on nobody gets paid once the commercial's done.
Oh, absolutely.
If Big J commercials are airing 6 months after you're no longer here for whatever reason, that's nobody's getting that money.
That falls under the category of, hey, be happy you have a job. Okay, so that's a different complaint altogether. But,
Got it.
Listen, we've been through this here at the station. Like, we had a really great voiceover guy. This was years before you were here, Nick. His name was Keith. He passed away. And so for about a year, we still had, his voice parts working until we had to find another guy who we loved, Sludge, to do some stuff. So that is, a difficult thing to contemplate. Although I do, you were like, I don't remember this guy's voice.
I don't.
I can tell you this. I mean, sometimes voices get synonymous with things. And like growing up around here, listening to football on the radio, West Woodland radio, I knew this guy's voice like you would not believe. And he's now our voice guy. David Lee.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, man, I that voice is just, sometimes they just stick with you and you are lucky enough to get to work with them. That's a pretty cool thing. But it is one of those things that, as we have learned through research, that sometimes those things of nostalgia bring comfort. So, I mean, that's a big part of it as well.
It is. And I'm sure the family's happy being compensated, but it is a weird line that's being
You gave me a
crossed.
great idea. I didn't even think we should start putting together AI shows for us. We could do a lot less work.
Yeah, we just got to make them type in like uhs and ums like 900 times. We're good to go.
No, let's clean it up, man. They sound like professionals for
Morning
once.
After with Nick and Big J. We got your bad impressions. They're next on the X.
Have you noticed that your
Bad impressions.
So far, I'm not impressed.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Yeah, and we got some tickets here for Bad Impressions. Cradle of Filth hitting the Revolution Concert House and Event Center on May 20th. It will be a metal show that you will not want to miss, especially if you love some metal classic stuff right there. So we'll get you that if you can figure out Bad Impressions here today. And boom, you're in.
Why don't you get on the phone if you want to play Bad Impressions? 208-287-1003. If you're unfamiliar with the game, it works thusly. Big J has prepared 3 clues. Now, each one of these clues is going to point in the direction of somebody pretty famous. If you can figure out who that famous person is in 3 clues or less, congratulations. It is you that will be going to Cradle of Filth. Big J, are you ready?
I'm ready.
To the phones we go. Hello, the X.
Hello.
Hey, good morning. Who's this?
Jeremiah.
All right, Jeremiah, you're up first, man. Good luck.
My company started out as an animation company, then turned into building theme parks.
Next one.
Steamboat Willie turned into Mickey Mouse, and there was our inspiration and mascot.
Disney.
Disney, I'll take it.
Last names are good enough. Jeopardy
Mr.
rules.
Walt Disney's last name.
Walt Disney, yep.
Well done. Hang on 1 second, Jeremiah. We'll hook you up with those tickets to go check out Cradle of Filth. What was clue 3 for fun?
Now we own huge IPs like Star Wars and the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Why is Walter Disney in the news?
They are not done building theme parks, Nick. They have revealed plans for Disneyland Abu Dhabi. It's the first theme park and resort in the Middle East. It's set to open on Yas Island. They are partnering with another company, developer known for immersive experiences, and Disney aims to blend its magic with Emirati culture. This is a thrilling moment for a company, said Disney CEO Bob Iger, promising the park will rise from this land in spectacular fashion, blending contemporary architecture with cutting-edge technology to offer guests deeply immersive entertainment experiences in unique and modern ways. No expected timeline here, but they're thinking about 5 years to build this out. So
I know there's Orlando. I know there's California. I know there's Paris. Am I missing any other ones?
I think Tokyo. I think
Is
there's,
there one?
I think
Okay.
there's one in Japan. I think there's 7 altogether.
Wow.
This will be the 7th, I think.
Okay. The 7 Wonders of the World, Big J. Disneyland's
Oh, yeah.
all of them. Well, that's exciting. I'm sure it'll make on the list of Disney adults and kids all over the world. That'll make the pilgrimage out there to check out every single property.
I mean, I could only imagine what it's going to look like because, you know, all the the architecture and everything in Abu Dhabi is crazy.
Yeah. They're going to have their work cut out for them for sure. But maybe a Big J trip in 2032?
You know, can you see me in the desert there in the Middle East?
Well, I mean,
I would be miserable. I understand. I mean, I'm not going to Phoenix for fun either. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't picture that happening. But I'll never say never because that'll end up happening if I say never.
But that's more of a modern city that has amenities like air conditioning and things like that where
when
you
they
don't
can
run
create
into.
a shade for the sun over the entire place, then I might be interested.
All right, what a buzzkill.
I know.
Morning After with Nick and Big J.
A delicate skin.
There's your bad impressions. We wrap up the show here next on the X Rocks.
It's the Beacon Plumbing Sale. Take $50 off any service or new installation that Beacon has to offer, including plumbing, electrical, HVAC, air conditioning. You name it, it's $50 off. Stop freaking. Call Beacon, 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.com.
There is no one more worthy of celebrating than a mother. At Roots Rock and Barkyard, they are grateful for all the mothers in their lives, as well as all the wonderful mothers that make our community the great place it is. To celebrate your favorite mom, Roots is giving away an awesome package of goodies. Go to rootsidaho.com for all the details. Swing by on Friday or Saturday of Mother's Day weekend for a free plant with every purchase while
Park, that is up from the bottom, wrapping up the Morning After with Nick and Big J on this Thursday. We had a very big show. We had a chance to talk about how you shouldn't be messing around with people when they're playing video games and eating nachos at 3 o'clock in the morning. We also had a chance to break down robot gender and even Big J talk a little bit about the future of AI and our voices, but it does leave you with the floor, sir.
Yeah, real sad news yesterday. Brad Arnold, lead singer for Three Doors Down, on Instagram announcing they're having to cancel their tour right now. He has stage 4 kidney cancer. So Dude is fighting for his life, and it was a tough watch. And we wish him nothing but the best. Good dude.
Yeah, we had a chance to cross paths with him several times, and certainly he is a fighter. He's not giving up anything. He's going to battle this thing to the end, but certainly a tough road ahead for sure. So best of luck and best wishes to Brad Arnold from Three Doors Down. You fight that fight, my friend. Tomorrow is going to be a very busy show on this particular program. Not only are we going to have roller derby talk, the Treasure Valley Roller Derby is going to be in studio with us tomorrow morning. We're also going to have a great visit from comedian Aparna Nancharla, who's going to be at the Lounge Boise, the Comedy Lounge, this particular weekend. We are very excited about that as well, plus your tickets to Monster Jam too. So we will see you on Friday. Jason Drew's up next. You guys have a good one. It's the X Rocks.